Online people, can you hear me? Online, can you respond in chat? Yeah. So where we stopped in the last session? We discussed about the first Hello World program, right? The first Hello World program we discussed or not? Yes or no? That is not yet done. So we can repeat all the things again. Yeah, tell me. I have a function hello like this. Okay, what you can say? If you see this particular hello like this, what do you think about this hello? What is the type of this one? Usually in our mind, it is going to think like what it is like a function or not. Whenever you use like this confidently, I can say this is like what? This is like a function or not. Whenever you create an object, okay, for this particular hello, it is like a functional class. It is like a functional class. Now I can say like it is a class. Yes or no? Okay. Now if I write like this, either this way or this way, like this or like this, what do you think? Come on. If you use like this, I can say like a my hello is a function. If you use like this, I can say my hello is like a class. Okay. Now tell me, if you use like this, what is my hello? What is my hello? Is like a component or not? Is my voice is breaking? Is my voice is clear? Clear, right? Okay, perfect. It is like a component or not? Now tell me, by default, my browser knows how to use this hello as a function or not. By default, my browser knows. By default, my browser knows how to use this one like a class or not. Yes or no? Okay, tell me, show me that. Is my browser knows or not? Okay, how we can? Just go to your console once. Okay, this is our browser. Go to console. Let me dock it in the left side. Go to console. Okay, here, if I write like this, function hello, syntactically valid or not? If I write like this is which type? Come on, if I write like this, my hello is which type? It is a function. See, there is no error, nothing. My browser can use this hello as like a function or not? Yes or no? This is only the proof. The next one is like new hello. If I write like this, is it gives me any error? Is it gives me any error? No. It create an object for which class? Hello class. Now this time my hello is like what? It is like a functional class or not? Okay. My browser knows how to use this one like a function, how to use this one like a class. For example, if I write like this, if I write like this, is my browser knows how to use this one like a component? Can I click on enter? Say this. It gives me some error or not. That means my browser don't know how to use this one like a component or not. But our requirement is what? But our requirement is what? You want me to use this one like a function? No. You want me to use like this one like a class? No, right? I want to use this one like what? A component or not? But my browser don't know how to use this one like a component. How to recognize this one like a component or not? Then come on, my requirement not changed. My browser should recognize this one like what? Component only or not? So that who is going to help to my browser to recognize this one like a component? One library or not? What is that library? React is my library or not? Yes or no? Okay, tell me something about library. What is library? Come on, it's a simple normal JS file, right? It's a simple normal JS file. If you want to work with this library, what we have to do? First of all, you have to get that JS file. Okay, next you have to load it and then you can use it or not. What my JS library contains, that means what my JS file contains usually. What my JS file contains. Come on, variables, functions, classes. Again, my class contains what? Variables and methods or not. Any JS file you can take it. These only you can find it or not. Yes or no? Now, this is my browser. Here I have hello. Okay, function hello is there. Function hello. Now this particular one, if I use like a normal function, my browser directly can recognize this one like a function and execute or not. There is no issue with this particular syntax. Yes or no? The next one is what? If I use like a class, how we can create an object for this particular class? Come on, by using new operator, right? So new hello, new hello. Yes or no? Now my browser knows about this syntax or not? My browser knows about this syntax or not? Yes, my browser knows about this syntax. Okay, it is going to execute. But whenever you use this one like a component like this, is my browser knows by default? Is my browser knows by default? No, right? My browser don't know by default recognize this one like a component. Who can help to my browser? Come on, who can help to my browser? My React library can help to my browser or not. Whenever my React library loaded inside the browser, it helps to my browser to recognize this one like a component or not. Yes or no? Now tell me, my component purpose is what? Why we go for components in React? Why we go for components in React? Come on, why we go for components in React? To prepare some content, right? To prepare some templates, right? Hello world is my template, table is one template, list is one template. Like this we can create or not. Now I have to prepare my hello world is my template. For example, this is my template. Yes or no? Usually we are going to use the React components to prepare the content or prepare the templates which is rendered inside the browser or not. Whatever the code you written here, say this, whatever the code you written here to prepare the content, that content we can say like what? JSX or not? Yes or no? JSX stands for what? JavaScript and XML. It is a combination of HTML, XML, and JavaScript or not. It is a combination of three things. See, H1, hello world, H1. It is like what? HTML, right? Okay, maybe it contains HTML, maybe it contains XML, maybe it contains JavaScript, maybe it is a combination of HTML, XML, HTML, JavaScript like that. So once it is recognized like a component, it can get what? Some JSX content to render or not. JSX stands for JavaScript and XML. What is the difference between HTML and JSX? What is the difference? HTML and JSX. HTML is a markup language. There is no compilation, nothing is required. But JSX, compilation is required or not? Is my browser knows how to compile the JSX? By default, my browser don't know. My browser know only three things. It can recognize HTML elements. If you write the CSS, it can apply the CSS to my HTML elements. It can perform some actions on my elements by using JavaScript or not. Other than that, my browser don't know anything. Now tell me, my JSX, whenever it is loaded, compilation is required or not? Who compile that? Who compile? Who compile that JSX? My browser don't know how to compile it, so that it takes some other person help or not. Who is that guy? Okay, Babel is like a third party library. In future, we are going to use instead of this Babel, some other libraries also we can use it. So now tell me, I have a component. Okay, my browser is not able to recognize with the help of React library. It can recognize this one like a component. My component returns me some JSX content. That content compiled by Babel. Now tell me, at this point, I have a content compiled content or not, error-free content or not? Yes or no? Okay, compilation complete is nothing but syntax errors, nothing is there. Then only we can say like what compilation is done or not. Now I have a compiled content here. Okay, now this content where you want me to load? This content where you want me to load? Come on, I have a container, right? Which is inside body already. This div inside the body or not? I have the container. Now, whatever the compiled content is there, this compiled content plays inside the, this compiled content plays inside the container or not? Now, my question is, how we can place our component compiled content inside the container? That is the question. Is my browser knows again? My browser, by using JavaScript, how to place the content, it knows. But here we have normal JavaScript content, React content, JSX content. JSX content should load where? Inside the container or not? Again, my browser don't know how to render the JSX content inside the container. Then you want me to live like this, or you want me to take some other person help? You can take some other person help. Who is that guy? Come on, one more library is required. React DOM is the library or not? Why we go for React DOM? One line answer, tell me. Why we go for React DOM? To render your component content inside the container. Then you can go with the React DOM or not. Okay, so that once you have the React DOM, my React DOM is going to render the content where? Inside the container. So finally, my div has some content. My div where it is? Inside the body. Whatever we have inside the body, that is visible to the end user or not. So finally, your content is rendered inside the browser or not. Agreed with me? So tell me, first question, how many ways we can create the components in React? Two ways. One is like functional components, another one is like class components or not. Syntactically, how the functional components are looks like? Syntactically, how the functional components are looks like? It's like normal JavaScript function only or not? Yes or no? Syntactically, there is no change. But the difference is what? Based on the usage, you can tell. If you use like this, you can say what? Function. If you use like this, you can say what? Class. If you use like this, you can say what? Component or not? How we can use component? How you can render the component? In which format we can render the component in React? Component is always in the element format. Starts with what? Capital letter or not? Is my browser knows how to recognize this one like a component by default? Don't know. Okay, take whose help? React library help or not? Okay, my component should returns what? My component should returns what? The purpose of component is what? To prepare the content. If the content keep with my component, what is the use of that one? It has to prepare and it has to give it back or not? How one function return the content back? By using return keyword or not? So my component should return the content or not? Whatever the code you use to prepare the content inside the component, that code we can say like what? Terminology wise, JSX or not? JSX stands for JavaScript and XML. It is a combination of HTML, JavaScript and XML or not? In this case, see this. What is this? HTML code or not? The difference between HTML and JSX is what? HTML no compilation, JSX code should compile or not? Is my browser knows how to compile the JSX code by default? My browser don't know. Okay, it's take whose help to compile the JSX content? Babel library help or not? Once my Babel compiled the JSX content, what we have? Compiled content, error-free content or not? That error-free content where we have to place? Inside the container or not? Is my browser knows how to render the JSX inside the element? Again, my browser don't know. It's take whose help again? React DOM library or not? My React DOM is going to take the JSX content and render it inside the container or not? This is your overall flow. Understood, everyone? So that how many minimum libraries are required to run or to render some content inside the container or render some content inside the browser using React? Minimum how many libraries are required? 3 libraries are required or not? Minimum 3 libraries are required or not? Yes or no? Minimum 3 libraries are required or not? What are those? One is like, come on, React library. Another one is like what? Babel. The next one is what? React DOM or not? One line answer, tell me. React, which is used for recognize the component. Babel, to compile the JSX content. React DOM, render the content inside the container or not? Yes or no? Okay, tell something more about the JSX. Very simple. Whatever the code you written, right? This is the code you written or not? Whatever the code you written to prepare this particular content, that code terminology wise we can say like what? JSX. Understood or not? It may be HTML. It may be XML. XML is nothing but user defined elements, you can say user defined elements. The next one, it may be JavaScript. At this moment it is like what, HTML, hold for some time. After that we can use here like a XML. After that we can use here like a JavaScript also. Wait for some time. Now the difference between HTML and JSX is what? Very simple. Everyone knows HTML a markup language, no compilation or not. Okay, but JSX is what? It is like JavaScript and XML. It should what? Compile or not. Who is going to compile? My Babel is going to compile. That's it. Okay, can we execute this program? Let's go. Tell me, what do you want me to do? Come on, what do you want me to do first? Finally, my content has to render inside the browser or not? Which files are going to run inside the browser? HTML files, right? Can I create one simple HTML file? What is that? Hello.html. Done. Next. Come on. If you want to show some content to the end user, directly or indirectly, that content should place inside the body tag or not. So inside the body, I need some space. Okay, so you can use any tag, no problem at all. You can use any tag. Understood or not? Now tell me, if I run this hello.html, what happened? Inside the body, my div is going to place or not? Yes or no? Okay, come on. Next. Tell me, next. I want to prepare the content using React and place that content inside the container. How we can prepare the content inside? Okay, how we can prepare the content in React? Using components. So can we create the component? How we can create the component? Come on. How we can create the component? Come on, syntactically, it is like a normal JavaScript function only or not. In your HTML, if you want to represent, this is like a some JavaScript, how we can tell? You have to enclose your code inside the script tag or not. Now we can understand like what my browser can understand, like whatever this section contains, that is rendered like what? JavaScript or not. If it is like a CSS style tag, we can say done. Now I'm telling like this is like a component. I'm telling like this is like a component. Now tell me, am I okay? It is like a right statement at this moment. No, right? No, right? Whenever you use the hello like this, then you can say 100% it is like a component. Now at this moment, you can say like what? It may be function, it may be class, it may be component or not. But you know, right, as a developer, I want to use this hello as what? Component or not. Component used to prepare some content. So what is our content? Come on, H1 hello world is my content. Can I close this one? Yes. Now you prepared the content. You want me to keep the content inside the component? No, right? Then what we have to do? You have to return it or not. Agreed? You have to return it or not. So this is my component. By default is my browser knows. By default is my browser recognized this one like a component. No, right? Then who can help to my browser to recognize this one like a component? React library or not? Can I get that React library? Okay, let's go. Now, the official website for React is, okay, react.dev. React.dev. This is the official website. So you can click on this one. Yesterday we saw like what? Legacy.reactjs.org or not. Don't follow this one. Don't follow that one. You can go with this. React.dev is the official website. Okay. Now, can I click on the learn React? Learn React. And then there has one section is there. What is that? Installation section. Can I click on the installation section? Once you click on the installation section, okay, if you come here, try React locally. There has, okay, one heading you can find it. Try React locally. Now, can you come here? See this? To try React locally on your computer, download this HTML page and you can work on it. Yes or no? Can I click on this one? Click on it. Click on it. Now see this. HTML head title and then everything leave it. See, he loaded like what? React development.js. He loaded or not? Yes or no? Now, this is a CDN link. Did you observe this one? It is a CDN link. This content delivered through network or not? I don't want the CDN link. I want to save in my local machine. Then how we can save? Whatever the URL is there, copy this URL. Copy this URL. Okay, go to next tab. Just you can paste it. Click on enter. Now see this. This is the one. This is my JS file or not. Now right click on it one and save as. Save as. Wherever you want, you can save it. Wherever you want, just you can save it. Done. Yes or no? Okay. Now come to the our HTML file. At this moment, while running my hello.html, is my JS loaded or not loaded? Loaded or not loaded? Not loaded. Prove. Loaded or not loaded? Not loaded. That's correct only. Show me that. It is loaded or not loaded. How we can? Go to Reveal in File Explorer. Just you can run this one. Run this one. Now, how we can check it? Right click and inspect it. Now go to, come on, Network tab. Whenever you refresh the page, my browser send how many requests? One request. For which file? hello.html file or not? My request sent and get the response. That response stored where? In the File Explorer format. In which tab? Source tab. Can I go to the source tab? Yes. In my source tab, how many files are there? hello.html, one file only. Is my React development.js loaded? Not loaded or not? This is one way. Another way, tell me. Come on. In the console, if my React loaded, React library loaded, my library contains variables, functions, classes, right? One of the variable called as a React. If it is loaded, I can access this variable or not. But it is loaded or not loaded? It is loaded or not loaded? Come on, go to my console. React is not defined. That means what you can say? It is not loaded or not. So I want to load that one. Now my question is how we can load one JS file in your HTML? By using script tag. Which attribute? Source is an attribute. Which file? Control space is the shortcut. Just you can do control space. Now you can see all the available files you can find here or not. Which one you want? React development.js. Okay. Now close this one. Now can I run again the same file? Go to network tab. Refresh the one. Now my browser sent how many requests? 2 requests. How much data transferred from those files to my browser? 110 KB data transferred or not into my browser. 2 requests got completed. That response stored in the File Explorer format where? In the source tab. See my hello.html and my React development.js. There are not there. Now you can check once my React.js library loaded, there has so many variables are there, so many functions are there. Okay, they written like 3000 lines of code or not. I can access the members or not. It is loaded means all the variables and functions are available or not. So that can I check my React variable is there or not there now. Now see. In the past, you got some error, but now my React is there or not there. Now I can confirm like what? In my browser, React there. React library loaded. Once my browser has the React library, it helps to my browser to recognize my hello as like what? Component or not. Understood everyone? Okay, the first step is done. The next one, come on. Recognize like a component. My component has JSX content. That content has to be compiled. Who compile? My browser, not Babel. So that I need a Babel library. Now see, within the same file, okay, you can see the Babel also. See this here, my Babel. Yesterday, the same link you find or not in internet. Already directly you can get this one. Now go to, come on, tab. Can I open? Can I click on this one? Now the Babel JS, you can see here, save as. Now you can save in the folder, workspace folder, wherever you want. Again, is my Babel loaded at this moment? Is my Babel loaded or not loaded? Not loaded. Can you go to the console? Can you check my Babel there or not there? How we can check it? Babel there? See that. Babel there or not there? Where I can see the messages, error messages in the console. So can I go to the console? What is that error? Babel is not there. Okay, when you can get these reference errors? You try to access one member, that member is not in that context or not, then the time you can get this kind of errors or not. Now what you have to do? Come on. You have to load your Babel. So how we can load it? My script source equals to, shortcut is what? Control space is the shortcut. Done. Now, by default, my script tag, whatever we have, okay, it is going to compile with what? My type by default is what? Text JavaScript. If you not write also, okay, by default, my type is like text JavaScript. Now you want me to compile this one like a text JavaScript of Babel. Babel. So that can I remove this JavaScript? Can I put like what? Babel or not? Understood? Now, can I come? Can I refresh? Okay. Now say this. Again, you can render, you can click on the Babel. In the past, it gives me an error. Now, we don't have any error or not. So, my React library loaded and my Babel also loaded. Next one. Come on, I have a component with the compiled content. That content you have to render inside the container or not. So, how we can render? Again, is my React can do? No. Is my Babel can do? No. So some other person help. Can we take it? Who is that guy? React DOM is the library or not? So can I get that React DOM library? Okay, now see this. There has React DOM.development.js there or not there. Now, can I save in my local? You can directly use that CDN links. Otherwise, you can save this one in the local. If you save this one in the local, if you are offline also, you can work with that one or not. So, can I save this? Now, React DOM there or not there? In my browser, I want to check it. Come on. React DOM there or not there? React DOM there or not there? Now you can check the console. My React DOM is not defined. React DOM is not there. In the source, you can check it if you have any questions. Now in the source, we have React DOM or not having? It is not having or not? Yes or no? Okay, so that you have to load your React DOM library. So can I load it? Source equals to React DOM dot development.js or not? Okay. Now, can you come here? Can I refresh my page? Now, can I go to my console? Okay, React DOM.development.js loaded. Can I go to my console? Okay, now see, React DOM. What happened? React DOM, what happened? Can I click on enter? Now see this. If I click on enter, now can I go to my console? Okay, again it gives me what? React DOM is not defined. Why? Why? Okay, where? Okay, location is equals to Mumbai. What is my location? Mumbai. Okay, what is my location? What is my location? Come on. What is my location? LOC is not defined. It means my JavaScript is like what? Case sensitive, right? My JavaScript is like a case sensitive or not. Here you created with what? All are like lowercase, but here you starts with L capital. Is there any element or variable? Okay, starts with L is like a capital, OC is there, not there, right? Same like that. My React DOM and React DOM. See the difference. Here there is no error. Here there is an error. Why? The Facebook people created a variable React DOM is like a capital or not, but you use it like what? Lowercase letter, so that it gives me an error or not. So you have to check, double check while creating or while using the variables or not. It is like what? Case sensitive. Always you have to check it. Understood, everyone? So done. So my React DOM library loaded. What is the purpose? Why we go for React DOM? Why we go for React DOM? To render this particular content inside the container or not. If you want to place some content inside the container, first of all, container is required, right? First of all, container is required or not? So can I get the container first? How we can get the container? I want the container reference. This container reference I want. I can get the selector, document.query selector of something like this. You can write it or not. That is one way. Another way is like, for example, you have a ID for this one. Okay, if you have an ID, by using this ID selector also we can get it or not. How we can get that? Come on. Document.query selector or ID you want me to use to get the reference? ID or not. So document.get element by ID of what? My root. Yes or no? See, the final goal is like I have to get the reference of this particular container. There is multiple ways are there. See this. Come here. Document dot query selector body greater than div gives me what? Gives me what? Document dot get element by ID of root gives me what? Okay. Document dot get element by elements by tag name. How many tag names are there? Whose name is like div? One. In future, possibility tell me. More, right? One or more or not? So that it gives me a list format. In the list, can I get the first one? Yes or no? Either you can use anything. If the name is there, get element by name. Okay. If class is there, get element by class name like this or not. Our final goal is like get the element reference. That's it. You can use query selector, no problem at all. But most of the times, okay, they are going to use like an ID. So document.get element by ID returns me what? Come on. Whenever you executed one statement in the console, there has less than symbol is there, right? That less than symbol, after that, if you have some value, that particular value you can say like a return value. So tell me, this particular statement return value is what? This particular statement return value is what? Element, right? My div ID equals to root. It is an element or not? So my get element by ID or query selector returns me what? Elements or not? So that element, whatever the statement return me something, I can hold with one variable or not. So can I hold that one with one variable? How we can hold it? Come on. Container reference. Like this, can I hold it? Yes or no? Now, this is the variable you created. Okay, can I give the data type for this particular one? Okay, which data type you want me to give? Var let constant like this. The data type var, is it represent the type of the data or it is going to tell the behavior of an element or variable? Behavior of the variable or not? If the variable has var data type, what is the behavior? It is used within the functional. Okay, it is a functional scoped variable or not? Outside, if you write, it is a global variable. If it is like let block level, curly braces only, in between we can use it or not? If it is like a constant, it is also black level, but we not change the value or not. Now, once you line number 13 created, if I write my container reference equals to 10, what happened? 10, what happened? Whatever my container is there, that container is like override with 10 or not? You want me to allow the change like this? No, right? Once I create a variable, I don't want to allow any other person to change that value. Then the time, which one is the recommended data type? Constant is the recommended one or not? So that can I make it like constant instead of var let? Understood? Now I have the container reference. Next one, tell me. This container reference, who has to handle? My browser or React DOM? React DOM, right? My browser don't know how to keep the JSX content inside the container or not. So that who has to handle this particular one? My React DOM library or not? So you have to give this one to React DOM library. My React DOM library is going to taking care of your component rendering or not? Yes or no? So inside this particular React DOM, there has one method is there, React DOM. There has multiple properties are there. One of the property called is a create root is there or not? create root. By using that create root, we can allow my React DOM to create the root element. Why? Because, okay, you have the container. That container managed by whom now? You, my browser or React DOM has to take care? React DOM or not? So that you have to give this container, my React DOM is going to create the root container again or not? Handled by whom? React DOM people or not? So React DOM dot create root. What you have to give? What you have to do? Come on, you have to give the container as a parameter or not? So that here my React DOM, my React DOM has to create which element? Come on, create root element or not, which take your container reference or not. Whenever you give the container to my React DOM, now my React DOM handle your container or not your browser directly. So that it gives me what now? It creates what? One root container or not? Again, handled by whom? Browser or React DOM now? React DOM or not? Now inside this root container, you have to render what? You have to render what? You have to render what? Your hello component or not? Yes or no? How the component is looks like? In the element format, starts with what? Capital letter or not? Now, can you come here? Can I refresh my page? Now see, my hello world is going to render or not? Yes or no? This is my simple hello world program. Understood everyone? Agreed? Online? Anyone have any questions? Okay, we'll tell multiple components and everything, we'll tell. Now, I want to raise some errors now. Okay, anyone can write this program. Okay, it's a matter of 3 lines of code. That's it. Okay, now I'm going to do some changes. You only tell what happened because of that change. Okay. Okay, then the first one. What happened? The first one. If I do the change at line number 9, what happened? What happened? Okay, see one by one. Execution you can see. First, line number 1. Come on. Library loaded. That's it. Line number 2. One more library loaded. Line number 3. One more library loaded. 3 libraries loaded. Next, line number 5. Div loaded. Inside which element? Body. My browser knows, right? Which element has to place where? Body. Next, line number 9, 10, 11. Executed or just created? Created. Okay, function defined here. Okay, here you not call anything, right? Function defined, that's it. My hello just created. Next, line number 13. Come on, document.getElement by ID of root. You get the container reference, that's it. Next, React DOM is a variable coming from where? React DOM library. Create root is the method they already created. You called root container, you can get it. Inside the root container, you rendered what? From here, your actual execution is going to start or not. Okay, now hello capital letter, element with capital letter inside the browser. My browser can understand at this moment it is like what? Component with the help of React library or not. So my browser understand this one like a component. Immediately what is going to do? Looking for that component or not. Any component whose name is like hello, there are not there. Again, JavaScript is like a case sensitive. There are not there. Not there. I am looking for one member. That member is not there. What is the error? What is that error? Not defined or not. So my error is what? Hello is not defined or not. Now, can you come here? Can I refresh my page? Now you can see the error is like hello is not defined or not. Understood or not? Okay. Okay, then now Just the change is like this now. Now what is the error? My change is like this now. What is the error? My change is not, okay, change is like this now. What is the error? Same error? No, not a same error. Why, you know? See, again, same story. My execution is going to start from which line? Execution, actual execution is going to start from which line? Line number 15. Yes or no? Hours. Loaded 3 libraries, loaded this div inside the body, created a function, load, defined a function, and get the container and give it to React DOM. React DOM creates its own container, render hello. Now tell me, element format is okay. Is it starts with capital letter or not? Come on, element format is satisfied. Is it starts with capital letter or not? No, right? If it is not starts with a capital letter, is my React is going to tell to my browser, hey, this is like a component? No, right? My browser, my React is not tell to my browser anything. Then what my browser is going to do? What my browser is going to do? My browser has a list of elements, right? HTML elements. It is going to check any element, any HTML element whose name is like hello, there or not there. Any HTML element whose name is like hello, there or not there. Div, span, italic, this kind of elements are there. Any element whose name is hello there? No, right? Is my browser recognized or not recognized? Not recognized. That's the reason my browser is going to tell like this. Now say, hey, this tag hello is unrecognized in this browser. Okay, this hello tag is not there. I am not able to recognize this one. If you mean to render like a React component, why? Because React already rendered, right? Okay, it is going to suggest to you, okay, start its name with like uppercase or not. Understood or not? So that my browser is going to tell like what? It is not throwing any error. It's telling like what? A warning. My React is not coming to the picture now. Okay, this hello go to my browser now, but my browser don't know about this particular hello element or not. Understood, everyone? Okay. Okay, then the next one. Okay, now what happened? I removed that text babel. If I remove the text babel, by default my text is what? By default my type is what? Text to JavaScript. Okay, my JS is going to compile. Is my JSX is going to compile? No, right? What is the error? You can see here. The error is like my JSXC, it is not able to recognize, okay, less than, greater than, H1, those symbols or not. Start from where? From here only, it is not able to recognize your JSX or not. Yes or no? Who can recognize? Who can recognize and who can compile? Babel or not? So that externally you have to tell or not. Understood, everyone? Okay. Now, if I remove this one, if it is like a HTML, it is a valid or not? 100% valid. It is not gives me any error. Why? Because compilation is not there. But at this moment, is like HTML or JSX? JSX. It is going to compile or not? Okay, now it is going to give which kind of error? It is going to give which kind of error? Go to my console. Now observe here. In Babel script, unterminated JSX content or not? H1 is like opened. Is my H1 closed or not closed? Not closed. It is like unterminated. It gives me what? A syntax error or not? When you can get the syntax errors? At the time of compilation or not? Yes or no? So that my JSX code compiled or not? Yes or no? It is going to check for what? Proper hierarchy there or not there? You properly closed or not? Syntactical errors it is checked or not? So you have to close this one. It's a mandatory thing or not? Yes or no? Now if I remove this one, then what happened? If I remove this one, what happened? Come on, if I remove this one, what happened? See, where you used that one? Line number 13, right? Document dot get element by ID of root. There or not there? Not there. So what is my output? One element, you are finding the reference. That element is not there. What is my output? null, null. Okay, that element is not there. The output is like null. Say this document dot, okay, get element by id of ss or something. There are not there? Not there, right? Null. Now this null we are giving to whom? React DOM or not? My React DOM is expecting what? Null, some element. Some element, right? Okay, so that he is expecting the element received what? He expecting an element received what? Null, right? So that is my null is a DOM element? No. So that the error is, now can I refresh? Now come here, go to my console. See that. What is that? Uncaught error, create root, target container is not a DOM element or not. My container, I am expecting an element, but now you are getting like what? Null or not. So that what is my target container? My target container is not a DOM element or not. That element may be div, that element may be something else, but it should not be null. But here you are getting like what? My target container is not a DOM element means my target container is a null or not. Understood everyone? Agreed? Okay, then the next one. Okay, this one. Can anyone tell me? Come on, everyone knows this. What is this? What is this? Exact error I want. Huh? Is my React DOM lowercase variable there or not there? Not there, right? You are looking for one member, that member is not there. Then what is the error? Is not defined. So my error is like what? React DOM is not defined or not? Yes or no? My React DOM is not defined. That is the error. Say this, React DOM is not defined. Now, exact error message, can anyone tell me? Exact error message. Anyone? Exact error message. Come on. Exact error message. Online. Okay, then. See, if you see this piece of code, yeah, somebody told create root is an order function. Okay, perfect. Now see this. If you see this code, there has two sections, right? This section should be what? Parenthesis is there. Before that one, that should be what? Function, right? My React DOM dot create root are small. There are not there? Not there, right? So that in this particular object, one property is not there means it is like what? Undefined. I am expecting what? Function. But my React dot create root is what? Undefined. Is my undefined is a function? No, right? So what is the error? My React DOM dot create root is not a function or not. Okay, the exact error message is my React DOM dot create root is not a function or not. Now, if you observe here, go to the console. Now see, my React DOM is there this time, but create root R capital is there, but R small not there. So that in the object, one property is not there. What is the default value? Undefined. So that this is undefined. But you are using like what? Parenthesis is nothing but expecting a function, but received what? Undefined. So that my React DOM dot create root is not a function. It is undefined. It is not a function. Understood, everyone? So you can add like this. Okay, the next one. Here the order matters or not? Here the order matters or not? I added like React DOM first, and then React, and then Babel. Order matters or not? Now observe here, console. React DOM dot create root is not a function. Uncaught reference cannot read property of undefined. Like this, some errors came or not? That means what? There has a dependency is there. My React DOM is depending upon React development.js or not. That's the reason. Make sure first load React and then, okay, Babel, wherever you want, you can load it. That is like individual. And then React DOM, you can load it. Everyone agreed? First React and then React DOM. Everyone agreed with me? Any questions, anyone? Okay, okay then. Let's go with another requirement now. My requirement is very simple thing. Just your name you can print like 5 times. Okay. Just I want like your name. Okay, 5 times. Okay, my name is like Naresh IT, Naresh IT, Naresh IT, Naresh IT, like this. Okay, all are like same only. Okay, NIT, 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 like this. This is my requirement. Okay, how you created like hello world, same like this. My Naresh IT I want. Shall we? Let's go. How we can start? Come on, now onwards easy. Let's go. What do you have to do first? I have to create one HTML file or not? Can I create one HTML file? Okay, print name 5 times dot HTML simply. Next. Next. Come on. I want to show something. For that, some space is required to keep my content or not. So, what is required? One by one. Container is required. So, my container is this one. Done? Inside the container, what do you want me to place? Content. That content you prepare by using what? Components. So that can I create the component? Yes or no? How we can create the component? Okay, whatever you want, you can put it. Who recognize this one like a component? Is my browser by default? No. No. It's take whose help? React. So that can I load the React? Control space is the shortcut. Yes. The purpose of the component is what? Purpose of the component is what? Prepare some content. You want me to keep that content with my component? What you have to do? You have to return it or not. Whatever the code you written inside the component to prepare the content, that is called as JSX. JSX code should compile. Who compile? Babel. So that can I write the Babel? How we can assign that work to my Babel? Come on. My type equals to text Babel. Yes or no? Now I have a compiled content. That compiled content you have to place where? That compiled content you have to place where? Inside the container. Is my browser can do? Normal JavaScript content you can place it, but JSX content can't. Who can do that? React DOM. Okay, so can I get that React DOM? How we can get it? Script source equals to control space is the shortcut React DOM. Next. How we can get the container reference? How we can get the container reference? Constant. Okay, first you can write like this document dot get element by ID or get elements by tag name, get elements by class name or query selector all. Any one of the method you can use it. Finally, I need a container. That's it. Okay, can I use like get element by ID? What is my ID? Root is my ID. My get element by ID returns me what? Get element by ID returns me what? Element. Which element? Container element or not? Whatever the statement written, can I hold with one variable? Okay, how we can hold it? One variable or not? Okay, this variable value, I don't want to change it. Then make it like what? Make it like constant or not. Done? Okay, now tell me, this container, okay, handled by whom now? To render the JSX content. React DOM, right? So that can I give this one to my React DOM? How we can give it? My React DOM dot create root. Okay, your container can I give it? Whenever I given the container to my React DOM prepare his own container or not? Yes or no? Now it is going to give one root container. Okay, now inside this root container, what do you want me to render? Inside the root container, what do you want me to render? Render is the predefined method. What do you want me to render? Component. Which component this time? Yap is my component or not? Done. Okay, now it should print like what? Come on. It should print like what? Naresh IT or not? But my requirement is not this one, right? I want to put the Naresh IT like 5 times. So can I use that Naresh IT 5 times? Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times I added. Now can I come here? Can I refresh my page? Can I refresh my page? Then what do you want me to do? Come on. Then what you want me to do? This is only the issue. Okay, I want to know something more about the issue. What you want me to do as a developer? How many times you are going to refresh the page? Nothing will happen here, right? Where we can see that messages, console messages, error messages in the developer console window or not. So as a UI developer, always recommended to open the developer or console window. Okay. Now in the developer console window, where we can see the errors? In the console or not? Can you read that error? This is which kind of error? Syntax error. That means it is failed in the compilation time only. Yes or no? Can you read it? Adjacent JSX elements. Adjacent is nothing but side by side. Adjacent JSX elements. How many JSX elements are there? 5. Okay. H1s only or not? JSX is the combination of HTML, JavaScript, and XML or not? This time HTML. Adjacent JSX element must be wrapped in an enclosing a tag. That means what, how many elements you want, that many elements you can write it. But all the side by side elements, you have to wrap inside a single element. That one we missed or not. Now, if you observe here, any component you can create, any number of components you can create. How much code you want to write to prepare the content, you can write it. But all the elements should wrap with what? Single element or not? All the elements should wrap with what? Single element or not? Now tell me, is it wrap with single element or like side by side elements now? Side by side elements. I want to wrap it single element. Which element you want me to use? Can I use div now? For now, can I use like div? Now my error gone or not? Yes or no? Now the final element, root element is what? Root element is what? Div only or not? Div only or not? Yes or no? Okay, now can you come here? Can I refresh my page? Now see this? My Naresh IT printed or not? Yes or no? Now I don't want Naresh NIT, just I want like NARESHIT like that. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Come on, first time they set the requirement like NIT. Now they changed the requirement is like, okay, I don't want NIT, I want Naresh, NARESH, that text I want. Then the time? Here, NARESHIT. Now this change, how many places you want me to do? 5 places is the recommended one. Tell me, is it the recommended one? Now 5 places I can handle. 500 places in my application, the same thing is there. Then the time you want me to change 500 places, is it the recommended one? Obviously no, right? That is one thing. The next one is like if you observe H1 Naresh IT, close H1. H1 Naresh IT, close H1. H1 Naresh IT, close H1. This is a kind of what? Duplicate code, right? Any programming language you can quote. Duplicate code is not a recommended one or not. So what you want me to do? 2 fixes are required. I want to manage like only one. One place only I have to write it. Okay, here the change happened. How many places you have to do the change? 5 places, but I want to do with only one change. That is my requirement. Tell me how we can do it. Come on, very simple. Find the content, which one you are repeatedly want to use. Find that content. Which content you want to repeatedly use. Tell me, which content you want me to use repeatedly? H1 Naresh IT H1. This is the one or not? This particular content I want to use repeatedly in my application or not? Yes or no? Now, can you do one thing? I have some content is there. I want to prepare some content. How we can prepare the content in React? How we can prepare some content in React? Using components or not? Can you do one thing? can you prepare or can you create one component with this content? Can you create one component with this content? Okay, how we can create a component? Tell me. Function, any name, function name, open and close. Okay, what is my content? This is my content. Any component you can take, used for prepare the content. That content you want to keep or you want to written? You has to be written or not. Yes, sir. Done. Now, overall, how many components are there? Overall, how many components are there? Tell me. Two components are there. One is like app, another one is like what? Name. Which component directly rendered inside the container? Which component directly rendered inside the container? App component. Now onwards, can I say my app is like a root component? Yes or no? Now, can you come here? Can you come here? Whatever the content is there, just let me remove this one. Let me remove this one. You already prepared one component with my required content, right? Can I use that component here? How we can use the component? My component is always like what? Element with capital letter or not. Now, can you come here? Can you check it? Now, can I refresh my Naresh IT printed or not? Like this, how many Naresh IDs you want? Like this, how many Naresh IDs you want? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, can you come here? Can I refresh? How many times you written the code in this case? One time. I don't want Naresh IT. Okay, I want NIT only. How many places that change is enough? How many places that change is enough? Only one place is enough or not? Now you can ask a question. Hey, you repeated name also 5 times. Yes, I repeated for this. At this moment we repeated, but in future, by using one of the map method, we have one concept is there, lists concept. By using that lists concept, we can prepare the list of name components. How we can prepare? At that time we can learn. Understood or not? For now it is okay. Okay, now come on. Here in my app component, this is called as what? JSX. Perfect. JSX is the combination of HTML, XML, JavaScript. My div is what? HTML. My name is what? User defined element or not? This is not a HTML, right? User defined element or not? User defined elements we can say like what? XML, right? All your components are like what? User defined elements only. Those are like in the JSX like XML only or not? Yes or no? Now I have a HTML, I have an XML. Here only HTML or not? In future we are going to use like JavaScript also. How to use? We'll see that one. Up to your okay, everyone. 16th line. Okay, just we created like what? Container reference, right? You have a container. Okay, in this particular one, we need to add some content so that I need that container reference. So document.getElement by ID. Okay, by using this method, we can get this container reference. Understood? Any questions, anyone? Anyone have any questions? No, HOC is different. Higher order components, component inside the component, we have to pass like an argument to another component. That is different. Higher order components, we have a separate component. Okay, class, I will discuss in future. Side by side adjacent elements means side by side it is going to work. When it is going to work means, okay, all these elements should wrap within a single element or not. Did you observe here? There has side by side, how many elements are there? Name, side by name, name. But all these wrap with what? In a single element called as what? Div or not? Then the time there is no issue. Understood or not? Adjacent element should wrap or enclosed with a single element. Okay? Okay, then the next requirement. Okay, my requirement is very simple. Now see, I have one box is there. Okay, same kind of box here also. Same height and the same width. And here also same height and same width. Here also same height and same width. Total how many boxes are there? 4 boxes are there. In my first box, I want like one player name Sachin. Okay, in my second box, I want like a Dhoni. The second one is like a Kohli. And the third one is like, okay, Lara, like this I want. This is my requirement. Okay, tell me how we can start. If it is only the requirement, how we can start? Come on, simple. Don't think about this SDKL. Okay, just I need boxes, 4 boxes. Tell me. Okay, grid. Okay, think in React. Grid is there. 4 components. Why you need 4 components? Here 5 names means 5 components you created. No, right? Okay, let's go. Tell me. Just focus on one box. Create one box. That's it. Okay, how we can? I need like first one by one. I need a container first. I need a container. Next, inside the container, what do you want? Inside the container, what do you want me to place? Content. How we can prepare the content? Using components. How we can create the components in React? How many ways we can create? 2 ways. One is like functional, another one is like class. Class components are deprecated. So functional components. How we can create the functional components? Syntactical, how it looks like? Normal function only or not? In future, we are going to use like a arrow functions also. For now, normal function. Tell me. Function. Yeah, done. Is my browser knows this is like a function or this is like a component, I mean. My browser knows this is like a function. My browser knows this is like a class, but my browser don't know this is like a component. So who helps? Who helps to my browser? My React library helps to my browser or not? Done. Next. Come on, next one. My app should returns what? Hello world. Naresh idea. Box. Box, right? So I want to prepare one box. How we can prepare? Don't think more. One element you can take it, give the border, give the height and width. That is only a box, right? Why you think more? Yes or no? Can I take one element? Do we need any content? Not required. I need like some CSS for this particular div or not? Yes or no? Can I return? Yes or no? Okay, tell me. I want to write some CSS. I want to write some CSS. How we can write in the HTML? Can I go with the internal styling? Okay, next. Come on. For this particular div, can I add one selector ID or class name or whatever it is? Can I use like a class equals to box? How you can tell to my browser? This is like a class box. Okay, dot is my selector or not? What do you want me to give? Width 100 pixel. Next, height 100 pixel. Next, okay, border 1 pixel, solid red. Done. Yes or no? By default, my div is which kind of element? Block level element. Display is what? Block. If you put like inline, then what happen? It's take the content width. Do we have any content here? Do we have any content? Display block is nothing but a parent width. Display inline is nothing but content width. I don't want parent width. I don't want content width. I want my own width. Then what is my display? Inline block or not? Display inline block. Inline block. Done. My box ready. Okay. This particular one is a JSX. We return the JSX. That JSX compiled by whom? The JSX compiled by whom? Come on. Babel or not? Done. Who is going to render that particular compiled content inside the container? Inside the container, who is going to render? My React DOM library or not? Okay, let's go. Next. Here. Get the container reference. Give it to whom? React DOM or not? Okay, in the React DOM, which method is there? Create root. It's take what? Your container reference. Instead of creating one extra variable, directly can I write here? document.getElement by ID of root. Any problem? It returns me what? One root container or not. Inside that root container, what you want me to render? Your app. That's it. Okay. Now, can you come here? Can you run it? Okay. It gives me some error, right? Can we fix it? How we can fix it? It's not showing anything, right? Right click and inspect it. Go to console. What is this? Unexpected token less than. That means what? Type. Okay, it is not assigned this work to Babel, right? So you have to assign this work or not? How we can? My type equals to text, Babel or not? Done. Now, can you come here? Can I refresh? Now my box ready or not? There has one warning you can see. Invalid DOM property class. Invalid DOM property class. This is your normal HTML or JSX? JSX. In the JSX, class is not a valid DOM property. Now onwards, can I use like class name? Okay, he only said like what? Invalid DOM property class. Did you mean class name? Yes, I mean class name only. Now you should not see that particular warning. Done. My box ready. Like this, how many boxes are required? Like this, how many boxes are required? 4 boxes. Okay, now this one and this one. Now it gives me an error. Why? In the JSX, adjacent elements, one box besides one more box is there. Adjacent element should wrap with what? Single element or not. So that you have to do what? Can I take one div? Inside that div only, can I place my 2 boxes? Now there is no error, nothing. Can you come here? Can you check? Yes or no? After that, I need 2 more boxes. Then after that, I need like 2 more boxes. Then come on. Okay, very simple. I want Sachin and Dhoni line by line. I want Sachin and Dhoni line by line. Come on. Can I take one div, Sachin? Can I take one more div, Dhoni? Now what happened? My Sachin and Dhoni line by line or side by side? Line by line or not? You want Sachin or 2 boxes? 2 boxes. Can I remove this Sachin? Can I place 2 boxes? You want Dhoni in 2 boxes? 2 boxes. Can I remove that Dhoni? Can I put like 2 boxes? Now can I refresh? Done or not? Again, you did the same mistake. Div class name box, div. How many times you repeated? How many times you repeated? 4 times you repeated, right? The same code. Okay, you want me to write like this? Then what do you want me to do? Come on. Which code you want to use? Which content you want to use repeatedly? Can you create one more component with that content? So how we can? Function box. Can I return this? Now, can I remove this stuff? Can I use what? I need a box component. I need a box component. Like this, how many are required in the second line? In the second line also, I want like 2 more boxes or not. Done? Na? Okay, now can you come here? Can I refresh my page? Now it is ready or not? Agreed with me? Now define the component now. Define the component. Come on. In React or Angular, whatever it is, what is component? The component which is used to prepare some content which can be reusable or not. Which can be reusable or not. Now you prepared a box. That box you reused like multiple times or not. Yes or no? Now inside the first box, what do you have to place? I have to place Sachin. Second one, okay, Dhoni. Third one, like that, I have to place some content. How we can place the content, we'll see in tomorrow's class. All are agreed? Online people, any questions, anyone? Yeah, I'll share this code. I'll share this code. Okay, I'll tell you from where you have to download this code and everything. Okay. tomorrow we can. For now, can you do one thing? Just try your own. Okay. Just try today your own. Tomorrow, I'm going to share this code. Okay. One day delay, we are going to share the code. You have to try from your end first. DOM is nothing but whatever the content loaded. What is DOM means? Currently, see in the elements tab, whatever the content loaded, terminology we can say like it's a DOM. Okay, in JavaScript, how we can represent that content? By using one of the variable called as a document. Now, if you observe this, okay, all the DOM elements, all the content you can see here or not? Yes or no? Whatever the content loaded inside the browser, terminology wise, we can say like it's a DOM. Okay, in JavaScript, we are going to represent the DOM by using document element. Okay, online people, just wait. I'm going to give the permission to talk. Just wait for a few minutes.
Hi, good morning, sir. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sir, I've just missed the first 15-minute session, sir. So can you please, just refresh that 15 minutes, sir?
First 15-minute session, yesterday what we discussed, that one only, I just recap the things. Okay, why we go for React, this library. Okay, why we go for Babel. Okay, you know, right? Whenever you use this particular function, okay, whenever you created a function app, my browser don't know how to use this app is like a component. Yes, no. My browser know how to use this one like a function. My browser knows how to use this one like a class, but my browser don't know how to use this one like a component. So who can help to my browser? My React development.js. This library helps to my browser. Once my component has some content, that content we can say terminology wise, it's a JSX. That JSX content again should have to compile. My browser don't know how to compile again. My browser knows only three things. Okay, one is like HTML, okay, another one is like CSS and JavaScript. How to compile the content which is used to prepare, okay, which is used inside the component. My browser don't know how to compile it. For that, we use like one of the library called as a Babel. Understood?
Yes,
Once you
sir.
have a compiled content, that compiled content is going to render it inside the container. Okay, for that purpose, again, we need one more library. My browser don't know how to render the JSX inside the container, so that they use it like a React DOM is like one more library. So these three libraries we discussed first 15 minutes.
Okay, and sir, where to get from these three links? Yesterday I have tried, sir, but you told me that
Yeah,
you will just share that links.
this one. Okay, you can go to react.dev. This is the official website. Okay, from there you can go to learn React. Okay, from there you can go to installation. Okay, once you go to the installation section, here try React locally. One link you can find, download this HTML page. If I click on this, you can see this. Okay, there you can find all the links. Okay, three links are there, right? Do you find it? Okay, I pasted in short. Okay, one is like development. Okay, another one is like React DOM development. Another one is like Babel. Okay, whatever the code you written, the same code you can find here. See this. Okay, container reference and then root and then root dot render. Yes, no?
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you can unmute. Remaining people also have given permission.
In React, we are using React.development.js, right? In the production also, we'll use the same thing.
Where?
The package React.development.js.
Yeah. Okay.
Production also will use that, or in the production it will be different.
Personal. I didn't get you. Sorry.
Will the file will if in the production environment also we will use the same file, or in the production we will use different
Yeah,
file?
whenever you do the build, this is like initial first 20 to 30 days, we are going to use this format. After that, we are going to create the applications. Okay, Next.js application, create React app application like that. That time, if you run the build command ng run build for the production, okay, there has a production file. They are going to take it. That is not in our hand. Just they are going to use that production file and they are going to build it by running the command called as npm install. Okay, whenever you run npm run build command. So initial development purpose, you can use this one. The production is something different.
Okay. I missed the JavaScript workshop. Can I get the recording?
Yeah, that one you can see. Tomorrow I'm going. Otherwise, you can see here. Go to uijavakit.com. Go to uijavakit.com. Go to React. Okay. What is that? Go to React. Here you can come down. There is a workshop is there, right?
Okay.
You can download from here. Okay, you can find all the links of all the workshops. 3-4 workshop links you can find. Okay, next.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Normally, that function, we call it as a components, right? So
Mhm.
in React, normally if you want to run the function also, it will be available.
Yeah, available based on the usage. Okay, if you use the function with capital letter as an element, that is acting like a component. If you call normal way, that is acting like a function. Normal function.
So in starting we imported, right, src equal to text/babel, then that time it's automatically compile the JavaScript automatically, or we need to again add?
Which one you are talking about? This one.
Not that one, sir. Below we can give the right src equal to text/babel in 17th line.
Yeah, this one. Okay, at this moment, okay, as I said, in the local, if you want to run to learn, okay, further purpose, externally we are going to tell to my Babel, hey, compile this JSX content. But at the time of creating your application, this kind of syntax not required. But initial days like this, your question tell me.
Okay, now I need to run the functional one function. Yeah, example that box we can give the small.
Yeah, you can write. Babel is going to compile JSX as well as JavaScript also, no problem at all.
Okay, so we can
Okay,
add one more type.
you can add it. You can write like a normal function. Yeah, you can call. Okay, you can call that one. No issues.
Okay, then it will be called automatically. No
Yes,
need to
yes,
JavaScript. Yeah.
yes. Whenever you use like EA like this, obviously it's going to execute this particular function.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
If we want to use in real time, the CDN link, the JS file we have created, I don't want to install Node.js. So I just make this JS files and I can use in production.
Yeah, in real time. Okay, we are not follow this approach. Okay, we are going to create one application like Next.js or okay, whatever it is, like create React app or any skeleton you can create. Okay, there by using package.json, by using Node Package Manager, okay, by running npm install command, these particular libraries can download it. Okay, that is not our thing. as a developer, we need to focus on the business logic requirements only. This kind of libraries
Because
download
I
and
want to
everything they are
use
going to take.
only some features, only 1-2 features if I want to
Second,
use in production. If I am
in
working in somewhere,
production,
only I don't want to install Node.js. I just
Uh.
want to use some features of this React, so I can use this kind of approach.
see two things. If you don't want Node.js is not required. Okay, whenever Node is required means whenever you use like okay npm install this kind of commands so that okay Node is required. Okay, it's a library. Library is nothing but framework means just you have to follow the guidelines and everything. Library means just you can load that JS file how you want. Okay, you can call the members wherever you want. There is no restrictions, nothing. Okay, in the production, if you want without Node means this is on the process. You have to load the JS wherever the production server is running. Okay, and then you have to do. There you can use like a CDN whenever you run the server. Okay, whenever you deploy your application, obviously that application through internet only, right? We are going to connect. Then you can use like CDN links, no problem.
Because is there any security violations
Which one?
for that? But if
Yeah,
you use
it's a
external links,
JavaScript, it's a JS, right? It's an open source, right? Okay, JS and HTML and CSS, always it's going to see in your browser. Okay, anyone can see in your browser. Okay, here that's the reason. Okay, don't think more about the UI side security. Always we are going to provide the security in the server side application, server side only. Okay, why? Because HTML, CSS, JavaScript, everything is available in the browser itself.
okay.
Understood?
Thank you. I get it. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Next. Any questions, anyone?
Yeah, hi sir. So I have one doubt. Like after 2-3 months when the course is over, so so once we, I mean, at least get little bit of hands-on on the app. Do you think we can at least understand the Angular code or Angular thing, or for Angular also it
The
need
thing
a
is like
separate?
Angular and React completely syntactically different. Okay, different. Okay.
Okay.
So if you know React, okay. If you know JavaScript, one thing I can say, if you know JavaScript, you can understand React code as well as Angular as well as Vue.js also. Okay, if you know React syntax, okay, it is not completely different from Angular. That's the reason it's completely different from Angular. So if you know React syntax, you may not understand the Angular syntax. But the logic what you written, you are using JS only in React. You are using the same JS only in the Angular also. Understood or not? Logic
Yeah.
what you can understand if you know JS. Syntactical React and Angular completely different. If you know React syntax, okay, you have to learn again the Angular syntax.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. And how much it is different from the Next.js? Because in my organization there
Between
are
React and
opening.
Next, nothing. Next is like React is a library, but Next is a framework they built on top of React. So
Yeah.
that if you know React, okay, Next is you can easily work on.
Okay. Thanks.
Next. Unmuted Priya Kumari. You can talk.
Hello, so you've shown that H1 beside
Can you
H1,
talk a little bit loud?
yeah, you told that H1 like tags, right, in series, like you told that it is causing some error when we have put H1 beside H1. But
Yeah.
why it is not causing any error when you have when we are using div beside div?
No, obviously, right? Now see this. This is the div, right? This is
Yeah.
one div. If
Yeah.
I put like one more div here, obviously it's going to give an error, right? See that?
Okay, like this you are telling. Okay, I thought when it got integrated with that root, I mean, so that other component. Okay, okay. Okay, I got it. And in that constant also actually, like constant a equals to 10, again a equals to 20, I can't make it, right? But here in this constant, you have used that object to dot render, means that root dot render, right?
Yeah, reassignment is not possible. Reassignment, but inside that one already existing things you can do something.
Existing things we can do. Okay.
Okay, root equals to 10, it is not possible. In the root, something is there, you can do, no problem at all. Okay, let me show you one thing. Constant obj equals to n110.
Yeah.
Obj equals 20, it is not possible. Obj equals 20, it is not possible. It's a kind of
Reassignment.
reassignment. Obj dot n1, okay, now what? Obj n110. Obj dot n1 equals to 2000. Yes, we can do it. We
Okay.
can do some operations, but reassignment is not possible.
Okay, we can update the same existing.
Yeah, whatever you want inside existing things, you can do something, no problem at all. You can add something. But the thing is, the syntax should not be this one.
Okay.
Reassignment.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you, sir.
Next. Anyone? Any questions? No? Yeah, you can, Raja Reddy, you can raise your hand so that I can unmute. Raise your hand. I did Raj Reddy. Just wait, Raj Reddy. Where's that? You can unmute. Can I try to unmute?
Yep. Yeah. You can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
So, just a couple of questions, sir. This course will end in August or by end of July, sir?
2.5 months you can calculate.
So that's on August. And the other thing is, will we be project ready by the end of this course?
Yeah, I already told, right? The project with GraphQL and REST API. We are going
No,
to
I'm
tell
saying,
like some of the forms and
because I'm already a working professional, so I think I
Yeah.
discussed this, that I want to be able to participate in a project. That
Yeah,
is
that's
that
what.
possible?
After 1.5 month. Yeah.
Okay.
After 1.5 month, who is like working professionals, okay, don't rely on what I am teaching in the class. Okay, because
Okay.
this is for all freshers also are there, right? Okay, you
Yes.
can start your own project. Okay, if you have any questions, so Saturday, okay, 10 o'clock, after 1 month, we are going to set up a calls. Okay, 1-to-1 calls after 1
Okay.
month. Okay,
Okay.
there we can discuss. So don't follow this one. Okay, it's like 1.5 month, it is like common for all. From there you can think your own way. You can create your own applications.
Okay. Got it, sir.
You get my
Thank
point?
you.
So that
Okay.
whatever, okay, you are like working professional. Okay, you have some knowledge on the project and everything. The same project, if I teach here, most of the people are like freshers here. Okay, they may not understand. Okay, that's the reason. Okay, you can work on your own projects. If you stuck with something, we can connect 1-to-1. That is the thing is happening in the last. Okay, future also like that.
Sure, sir. Well, maybe after one and a half month, we can reconnect and
Yeah,
assess from
you
there.
can
Yeah.
create your application, own application with your requirement. Just you can start work on it.
Sure, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
the last batches happened like that only in future. Okay, this batch also same way.
Maybe we'll require some guidance from you in terms of how we should be able to.
Yeah, that's
That
what.
would be,
After
yeah.
first 1 month, it's a kind of all the topics what required for the project we are going to complete individual topics. After that,
Okay.
we are going to create one simple routing application and we are going to deploy. There
Okay.
onwards, you can create your own application.
Oh, so this will be done in the first 1.5 months.
1.5 month, yes.
Okay. So, got it. Thank you so much.
Yep. Next. Anyone? Any questions? Okay, no problem. You can come up with your questions if you have any. Okay, so just work on it. Whatever we discussed today, at least Hello World program, you can write it. Always writing the program is not a big deal, but think about the errors. Okay, remove something, what happened? Add something, what happened? Like that, you can practice initial days. Understood? The error messages are very, very important. Why? Because if you know comfort, if you comfort with that error message in future, okay, in the production itself, if you get that error message, you should have to come to know like, whoa, this is the error message, this is the fixes required, like that. Understood? Okay. Okay then. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. We'll continue my things in tomorrow's class. Bye.